Let's welcome in our morning guest. T.S. Harihar is with us. S.V. Prasad and Ruchit Jain both are joining us this morning. Mr. Harihar, let's start with you. Your picks for 2017?
Well, I think early days, we have got to still work out the complete impact of demonetization. We need to see what is the budget all about. But I think the big theme of the budget is going to be digitization. So, we are going to focus on that. We are going to focus on stocks that are going to be not so dependent on the Indian market. So our first pick, of course, would be Tata Motors, where we expect a long-term target of about 600, 650 during 2017. We believe that JLR will continue to outperform both on the Chinese and the other non-Chinese markets. And since it accounts for about 90% of its Tata Motors revenues and 100% of its profits, I think JLR is going to be the story of Tata Motors in 2017. So that is one stock we like. I think TCS, I've been talking about this stock for quite some time. It's consolidated for a long time. The rupee is getting gradually weaker. The dollar is getting stronger. They already have 13% from digital, and that's growing. So I think that seems to be the one stock that is best poised to benefit from a growing US market. So TCS is the second stock we like, and we expect the stock to get back to its previous highs over 2,700, 2,800. The third stock is a slightly mid-cap play, and it's a play largely on digitization, which I've spoken before, and that is TVS Electronics, which we believe has corrected a little bit in the last couple of weeks. But we believe it will get back to its 350, 400 levels probably in the next 1 year. So we look at it as a multi-bagger or a doubler in the next 1 year's time.
SV, what are your picks?
Well, right away, at least the immediate result of what the Prime Minister announced, I've said the whole favorite SBI and as well as HDFC Limited. Because the average size, ticket size of these loans also, Pankaj, fit in with the kind of numbers that your colleague just mentioned. So therefore, definitely both SBI and HDFC are going to benefit. And SBI has already taken a fairly aggressive stance in terms of the leader that they are in terms of announcing rate cuts. So clearly, SBI and HDFC are two names that I like. But I think one will have to wait and watch what the demonetization effect is. I also like all companies related to housing, be it cement, be it Asian Paints, as you mentioned. So these companies will also certainly benefit. And as Harihar rightly mentioned, I think a lot of emphasis in this budget is going to be on digitization. So any company which is going to benefit out of digitization are the kind of companies that are clearly going to benefit. And I think this year is also going to be the year of the farmer, because the farmer stocks last year have got really beaten down. And hopefully they will get around their US FDA problem. So I expect farmer stocks to clearly look up this year.
Ruchit, what are your calls?
Two buy calls from for the month of January, probably just from 2 to 3 weeks perspective. The first call would be on GAIL. Probably you have seen this stock has been forming this high top, high bottom structure, and in last 2 months, this stock has shown a sideways time-wise correction. So it's good that within an uptrend, the stock has shown a time-wise correction rather than a price correction. And if you observe the last 2 trading sessions of last week on Thursday and Friday, probably the stock has again moved higher with very good volumes. So probably when the stock was going up, the volumes were high, and when the prices were sideways, the volumes were low. So I think we have a good triangle breakout on the stock on the daily charts as well. So we believe that it would be continuation of the trend, and for next 2 to 3 weeks, this would be one of the outperformers, and the stock could head higher towards 455. So one should go long around current levels itself, but the stop loss below 427, expecting a target around 455 in very short term. And my second pick is a buy call in Adani Enterprise. From the mid-cap space, this stock too has given a breakout from a sideways price range. If you observe the daily charts, even 200 SMA, which was acting as a resistance earlier, prices have given a breakout from that. And even volumes have been supported during this breakout move. So on the higher side, the stock has potential to rally up to 85 rupees. The risk-reward ratio is quite unfavorable, so one can go long in Adani Enterprise with stop loss below 73 for target of 85.
So we're counting down to market opening. Let's quickly take a look at a few stocks that will be in focus because of some news developments. First up, of course, the oil marketing companies. We've got another rate hike in prices for petrol and diesel. Oil marketing companies have hiked petrol prices by ₹1.29 a litre, and diesel prices have been hiked by 97 paisa a litre. More expensive fuel cost, and this will, of course, filter down to the inflation numbers. Because of this, there has also been a hike in aviation turbine fuel. So ATF prices are up 8.6% at 52,540 rupees per kiloliter, and this is going to affect the aviation companies. We'll keep a stock there. Shilpi Cables is acquiring 100% stake in Gulf Aglo LED Lighting. Transformers and Rectifiers has got a 92 crore rupee order from Getco. Lakshmi Vilas Bank has approved a QIP at 140 rupees a share. JSW Energy has approved NCDs worth about 500 crore rupees. And Bombay Dyeing has approved the sale of land and machinery worth about 185 crore rupees. So just a few seconds for market opening.
Apart from this, even auto numbers would come out throughout the day today, so that will also be a sector that will be in focus. Just awaiting the market opening anytime soon, we should start to get first prices. As the pre-open session indicated a 20-point higher start. I think 67 points is where Sensex is opened higher. Nifty at the bottom of your screen is up 13 odd points. SBI is up 1.32%. Ambuja Cement is up around 1.6%. ITC is down about 1% or so, and Bank of Baroda is up about 0.5%. Hindalco is up 0.4%. Tata Motors is up 0.25%. Aurobindo Pharma 670, but really no change. About 14,000 shares traded so far. Bharti Airtel is down about 85 paisa. Idea 74.75 for Idea, 10 paisa on the higher side. Reliance Industries is up 2 rupees. Tata Power is absolutely flat. BHEL is also on the flattish side. Axis Bank has opened with a positive bias. In fact, the entire banking sector, at least at the start, we saw SBI, Axis, HDFC is now down about 8 rupees. It's at the screen, 16,000 shares traded. Yes Bank is on the higher side. Maruti about 23-24 rupees high. It's reacting to the numbers that it declared over the weekend. Eicher Motors is up 4%, 950 rupees higher, 3,000 shares traded. It's a less frequently traded counter, but good set of numbers. The street, maybe was worried about what happens because of demonetization. They have declared the numbers. That's the December sales numbers. SBI, big rate cut, 2 rupees higher, 252. That's also among the top gainers, 0.8% higher for SBI. Look at the volumes, 4.5 lakh shares. HDFC Limited, they compete with banks like SBI and some of the others, and maybe that's why you're seeing that hint of worry as to how much will HDFC cut, what will be the impact on their margins. 25,000 shares traded for HDFC Limited. Lupin down about 5 to 6. Okay, I think Bajaj Auto has just declared numbers. The sales are down about 22%, and if I look at the preview, 2.25 lakh is what the sales are, and 2.6 lakhs is what Nomura was expecting. You can give it a 10% sort of a miss as well, but even then 2.25 lakhs, that's a very, very low set of numbers. It's not something which may go well with the street. However, details are still awaited. I'm just trying to open the press release because it's just hit the exchanges. It may take about a minute or so to open as well. But overall, you just get a sense that numbers are definitely below what street is estimating. Let's look at real estate companies and what's happening with housing finance companies. So a Canfin Home is up about 6%, 10,000 shares traded, 97 odd rupees higher. HDFC Limited is down about 4 to 5 rupees, 1,259 for HDFC. Repco Home Finance is up 5%, so about 24-25 rupees for Repco Home Finance, 584. Group Finance is also up. Throughout the day, we will be speaking to most of these companies to try and find out the impact, but all of these are right now into focus. Some of the real estate stocks are also doing well. So DLF is up around 4.5. Look at the volumes, almost close to 1 million shares already traded, 116, 117 for DLF. Unitech is up about 7 to 7.5%, but it's now a 4 rupee 30 paisa stock, so it's up about 30 paisa. Anantraj is up close to about 3.5-4%. DB Realty is up around 3.5 to about 4 odd percent. Broadly, real estate, housing finance company, these are two sectors that they are doing well. Some of the cement companies like JK Cement is up around 2%, 735 for JK Cement, but volumes are not that great. So maybe we'll just wait for volumes to pick up on JK Cement. Dalmia Bharat, 1,000 shares traded, 3% higher. Again, an indirect beneficiary is what one would say for these cement companies, especially in the rural areas where construction is now expected to pick up by 33%. Prism Cement is up around 2.5 to 3 odd percent. So that's another name which is reacting to that. Kajaria Ceramics is up 3.5%, 482, 15,000 shares traded for Kajaria Ceramics. Somani Ceramics is up. Okay, it's actually changing. So volumes are not very good. It was up 2.5. Right now it's up 0.6. Akzo Nobel, just 5 shares traded, about 5 rupees on the higher side, 1406 for Akzo Nobel. Not much to actually read into the paint companies so far. Anisha, any other names that you can pick up with volumes?
Well, Pankaj, the Bajaj Auto release has opened, so let's quickly go over those numbers. We're seeing their motorcycle sales domestically were down 11%, but the export story is again being a drag. Exports, motorcycle exports were down 24%, which is why entire motorcycle pack saw an 18% decline. When it comes to the commercial vehicle space, we saw a big drop across the board. Domestic sales were down 44%, and these are year-on-year comparisons. Exports were down 49%, nearly a 50% drop coming in commercial vehicle exports. And the total exports, commercial vehicles, we saw a decline of 46%. So when you take a look at the total figure, we're seeing a decline of 17% domestically, and exports are down 27%. So in total, the sales decline is to the tune of about 22% for Bajaj Auto. I think this is largely in line with what was anticipated. The stock is still down about 1.5%. You had mentioned some of the real estate stocks, and they were the ones that were moving on high volumes. And even Eicher Motors is one which is doing pretty well today. I think it had come out with its numbers earlier. Ansal API is now up 11%. We got Unitech up 6%. HDIL is up 4%. DLF is up 3.5%. So largely some of the real estate names that have moved up higher. The aviation stocks are taking a knock. So Jet Airways is down. Even SpiceJet is down because of the increase in ATF. These are the stocks that are seeing a little bit of a hit today. Cement names like Ambuja, India Cements, they're done well. Divan Housing Finance is also higher. Hindustan Construction, NBCC and Bharat Financial Inclusion are also notching up gains about 1%. But the markets have turned, and we are seeing LIC Housing Finance seeing quite a cut. It's down 2.5%. Granules India, Engineers India, and now the banks are slipped into the red. Bank of Baroda, ICICI Bank. They're all seeing some sort of pressure build up. As you can see, the markets are still lower. The Nifty and the Sensex have a cut of 0.25%.
Right, some of these housing finance companies are actually reacting in a very different way. So something like a LIC is down, something like a Canfin is up about 8%. Harihar, how do you look at housing finance companies after this big boost coming in for interest subsidy?
See, a lot of the smaller companies, like Repco, to an extent Divan Housing, these are the companies that are actually present in the what we call the low-cost housing space, because most of the benefits that the Prime Minister has announced, I think the limits that he has spoken about of, I think, 9 lakhs, 12 lakhs, they typically refer to low-cost housing. And these are the companies that are actually present in low-cost. I don't think HDFC or LIC has a very substantial or a profitable presence in the low-cost housing space. So I think these are the smaller housing finance companies which could actually benefit. The benefit as far as a larger HDFC or an LIC housing finance, I think will be there, but it will definitely be limited in terms of its scope.
Right. SV, how do you look at some of these companies? The low-ticket housing finance companies, low-ticket real estate companies should do well?
Yeah, frankly, SBI has always maintained that their average loan size, talking from memory, housing loan size is about 10 odd lakhs. So SBI will definitely continue to benefit because they are there, and given the presence all over the country, it's in the house in the main bank itself. HDFC also, their average ticket size is quite low, contrary to what people may think that their average ticket size is high. HDFC also, and so is LIC Finance. So among this pack, I would tend to go along with the leaders, that is namely SBI and HDFC. Real estate companies, I will still take a wide berth. There's still very, very early days because overall ticket size, most of these guys, especially the big names, are all in the big quote-unquote luxury projects. So I would play this more looking at the leaders on the lending side and look at other companies like certain cement companies and companies like Asian Paints.
Ruchit, DLF is up 4%, maybe because of this news flow. But do you think DLF is looking on the positive side?
Well, Pankaj, I think after this recent corrective move from 165 levels, the stock is now gone into a consolidation phase. If you observe from the second or third week of November itself, prices have consolidated in this range of 118, 120 on the high side, which is now it has not been able to cross. and 105 on the lower side. So unless we see a firm closing again coming in above 118, I think this consolidation phase would continue. Yes, if the stock managed to give cross this 118 resistance on the closing basis, then only we should expect some sort of retracement of this entire corrective move which we have seen in last couple of months. So one should not be in a hurry to go for any kind of bottom fishing over here just because of this positive news. Let the prices itself show some strength, and let the stock show a closing above 118. Then I think it would be wise to enter into the stock for the pullback move.
SP, with the big rate cut coming in, do you think NBFCs will also have to pass that on, which means their margins could squeeze?
Yeah, certainly. I think while there's good news for the NBFCs in the sense they're also getting the protection from the credit guarantee, but in terms of margins, definitely. And the bigger players like Bajaj Finance, who have raised a lot of money, whose debt equity is still very comfortable, I think these are the guys who will muscle in. But definitely the banks will give NBFC a fair bit of run for the money, and especially since all this demonetization money has flown into the banks. So the banks, especially the PSU banks, the CASA would have really benefited out of this entire operation. So I see NBFCs definitely, some of the medium and smaller guys definitely under pressure.
So you expect that over the next few days we'll see a lot of rate cuts from a lot of other banks as well, and probably even NBFCs when they declare their numbers, what do they say about the rates in the system? You think that will be an important trigger?
Yeah, certainly. The banks, already the expectation is ICICI and HDFC, I guess they were waiting for SBI, PNB and some of these players to see where they were pitching, and now we expect the private sector banks to come. NBFCs will have to follow. If they don't follow, then then I will start questioning the credit quality. Are they going to be focusing on the less credit? They are taking a higher call on the credit risk. So clearly, they will also have to look at the interest rates that they would be looking at. While we were talking, Pankaj, I was just saying HDFC's average loan ticket size is about 21 lakhs. So they are, in that sense, well positioned. I think SBI is about 10-12 lakhs housing loan ticket size.
Right. Harihar, what is your view on the auto pack? Let's start with Bajaj Auto. They have declared numbers, and numbers are looking way below estimates.
No, I think just look at two numbers. Maruti also announced its December numbers yesterday. I think a couple of trends seem to be emerging. If you break up the Maruti numbers, the entry segment consisting of the Maruti Alto and the Maruti WagonR, I think that has taken a huge hit as far as the numbers are concerned. If you look at the higher end segment, which consists of the Brezza and the S-Cross, that has actually shown a very appreciable growth. Similarly, Maruti exports have shown a very good growth. I think the story seems to be that entry-level cars, two-wheelers, these are probably the worst hit as far as demonetization is concerned. So I think Bajaj Auto has something to worry, Hero Honda probably has something to worry, and even for all the other auto companies, I would believe that entry models will really have something to worry about. I think the other models would be fairly more immune as far as the demonetization is concerned.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on NDTV Profit and talking to us about all the stocks you like in the very first day of 2017. Mr. Harihar, as you leave, please leave us with your disclosures.
Yeah, again, of the stocks I discussed, I think Tata Motors is a stock where I have a position. The others, of course, you can assume that we have recommended to our clients.
Mr. Prasad, your disclosures?
Yeah, State Bank of India, among all the stocks I've named specifically, State Bank of India is the one I have some, and a little bit in ICICI Bank as well.
Ruchit, your disclosures?
I don't personally hold any of the stocks that we have discussed, but we have given similar recommendations to our clients.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on NDTV Profit, and here's wishing you a very happy New Year again.